Hundreds of thousands of seniors travel through airports every single time with lounge access sitting untouched in their wallets, activated with the swipe of a card they have carried around for years, offered by the travel benefit they probably glanced past on the first page of the card's benefits summary. And here at Airport Wisdom, we think it is a fundamental failing of the senior traveler's information system in 2026 that this is still happening. So today we are changing it forever with 10 secrets that will transform the senior traveler's airport lounge experience every single day, starting with secret number 1, which might even be solved before you finish watching this video. Secret number 1 involves the biggest surprise most seniors discover in our Airport Wisdom community once they figure out that the access to airport lounges is built into a credit card they already carry. Travel credit cards, such as several popular travel cards, include access to the airport lounges as part of their benefit package, usually as one of two things: Priority Pass or Lounge Key. The reason why you are probably wondering whether your credit card offers this benefit is that your credit card company has no reason to bring this up because it costs them nothing when you don't use the benefit. The single most important thing most seniors forget is to enroll in the lounge program to activate the access. In other words, a credit card which offers access but has never been enrolled in the lounge program is useless in terms of airport lounges access, and it doesn't matter how long you have been carrying it and how much you have used it to get points. Open your card's application on your phone or log into its website and look for words like lounge access or travel benefit. If you spot either of those words, enroll your card immediately, because the next time you spend hours searching for a free seat in a crowded terminal, knowing that this benefit could have done everything for you will be the last time. Secret number 2 represents the first option for seniors who do not have lounge access on their current credit cards, but also do not want to apply for a new card, because the solution lies in something called a day pass. And as the name suggests, it is a single-use access card that anyone can buy at the lounge entrance. No membership required, no special airline status necessary, nothing more than the money for $30 to $60. What turns this into a simple value judgment is a quick glance over what you can do at an airport lounge compared to what you can do in the airport itself. So one-day pass buys you hot food, unlimited beverages, actual seats with Wi-Fi, and even the use of clean restroom, while in the airport you are limited to 1 hour waiting in food lines and 2 hours sitting on plastic chairs. While it looks like a no-brainer on most days, the important fact you should always remember is that some lounges limit the day pass access on busy travel days, and this is why it became a professional habit in our Airport Wisdom community to go to a lounge's website before going to the airport, pick a lounge at the airport you are traveling from, and pick an alternative lounge within the same airport, just in case your first lounge limits the day pass access. Secret number 3 takes everything we talked about so far and puts it into one question that will make your life so much easier. Is the airport lounge worth 2 hours? This simple metric has been discovered by our Airport Wisdom community after endless trial and error, and for every senior traveler who is considering a lounge, it will save endless headache and wasted time. Below 2 hours, you will waste more time getting to the lounge than you actually stay there before having to walk back to your gate. Above 2 hours, you give yourself a genuine opportunity to recover from the exhausting experience of terminal hopping and the stress of trying to survive your time at the airport, especially when you are a senior with mobility issues. It is a fact that every single senior traveler should learn because building lounge access into every senior travel schedule that includes a layover above 2 hours will make it one of the best travel investments ever made at any price point. Secret number 4 sheds light on a subtle distinction that senior travelers are unaware of, and it has been silently exploited by credit card companies for years: the difference between Priority Pass and branded lounge access, both of which are sold under the same terms on most travel cards and have little in common in terms of their practical value. While Priority Pass gives you access to a network of independent lounges located all around the world, branded lounges like Centurion, Capital One, and Chase Sapphire are much more luxurious, but are also much more rare and are available only in a fraction of the airports that Priority Pass operates in. This means that an expensive card upgrade to get access to a Centurion lounge for a senior traveler who spends most of their time flying from the same few airports with no lounges at all is actually worse choice than keeping the current card because their Priority Pass lounges cover more airports. 5-minute research to avoid such mistake consists of visiting the Priority Pass official website and searching for lounges available in your departure airport and connection airports. If they don't exist, don't switch cards. Secret number 5 is the fact most senior travelers are too proud to admit because admitting it would mean admitting defeat to some of the most powerful travel brands in the world, but it is a fact that every senior traveler must keep in mind when making decisions on their travel expenses. Not all lounges are equal. It may seem that buying a day pass for an average airport lounge will always give you the same experience no matter the place, but this is not true. There is an incredible variety of lounges even in the same networks, and your day pass might end up paying for a lot of bad coffee and uncomfortable chairs. Our airport wisdom community found out that the metric that determines if lounge is worth the expense is quite simple. Recent visitor reviews on TripAdvisor and Google websites for specific lounges, not general reviews for the brand's lounges, recent photos proving food quality, and a question that needs to be asked as soon as you enter the lounge. Is there a quieter section? Because if a lounge is quiet and spacious enough for you to rest in comfort, it will be worth it, and if not, it won't. Secret number 6 answers one question most seniors cannot answer because they have never used a lounge. They have heard about them but are afraid of not knowing what to do, but the procedure is much simpler than that. You enter the lounge, find a place, sit down, eat food and drink coffee, charge your device, use Wi-Fi, then leave when the time comes. There is no requirement to act in any specific way, there is no dress code, there is nothing more intimidating than that. The single key to making the most out of your lounge experience is to remember to ask one question as soon as you are seated in a lounge. Is there a quiet section? Because most lounges have one and you have to ask for directions, otherwise you wouldn't see it even though you walked by. Now you know the simple procedure that will make every senior traveler's journey so much more pleasant. Secret number 7 is one of the most useful facts our airport wisdom community found out about airport lounges, but that most senior travelers ignore for reasons that escape us because it is one of the simplest yet most useful secrets to a good travel experience, and it involves using a lounge after arrival instead of before departure. As a traveler that flies a lot, you will most likely end up landing after a long night flight, exhausted, feeling stiff after sleeping in an uncomfortable position for 8 or 10 or even 12 hours straight. Most of us will then need another hour or two before our connecting flight or hotel transfer, and what many don't know is that Priority Pass lounges work in the same way on the arrival side as on departure side. So you have your 90 minutes to get some rest, take a shower, sit on a comfortable chair, have a decent meal in a peaceful atmosphere rather than being surrounded by people that just got off their plane and are rushing to the luggage retrieval. Because the fact of the matter is that after a long night flight you need every minute to be fully recovered, not exhausted like most travelers coming from overseas are. Now go to the official website of your credit card and find out if your lounge program membership works on arrival. It does in most cases, and if you still aren't sure, visit your lounge and tell them you are arriving from the flight. Rule number 8 deals with the most common reason why lounges cause unnecessary frustration during senior trips. The belief that there are universal standards for lounge access that don't change from one airport to another, from one day of the week to another, from one time to another, and regardless of the specific people who booked the lounge access. There are actually 5 questions to ask before taking any trip to avoid being unpleasantly surprised later. Who has access to a particular lounge on a specific access type? Is your travel partner allowed to enter as a guest? And what are the conditions of the guest policy? What are the opening hours and the closing hours of that specific lounge at that airport? What types of tickets give access to the lounge, and whether capacity limits can trump the access? One single phone call to a card's customer service line 5 minutes before departure to ask, "Can my travel companion enter as a guest on my priority pass?" is worth much more than trying to negotiate in vain at the lounge desk. Secret number 9 reveals the distinction that never appears in any lounge brochures yet totally changes the experience. What time of the day you go in defines what version of that lounge you get. In the morning at 7 o'clock, a priority pass lounge is quiet, almost empty, with all stations stocked with food, free seating available, and all advantages associated with a lounge justified by its price. In the afternoon at 12:30 on a Friday, the same lounge can have standing room only crowds, depleted food stations, noise level comparable to the whole terminal, and the wait time for seating that makes the very idea of relaxation disappear. This is the difference that senior travelers who rely on a lounge as a place to have their peace and quiet instead of just having food would pay special attention to when booking a lounge and choosing a convenient flight time. The habit that gives a great result when it comes to lounges is taking morning flights whenever possible, getting to the airport early enough to stay inside the lounge at least 45 minutes before the boarding, and using lounge capacity prediction tools to verify that the actual state of affairs corresponds to what they expected from that lounge. Secret number 10 is our community's belief that this is the most essential information about lounges available to any senior traveler, and it has absolutely nothing to do with meals, chairs, or drinks. This is about what lounge representatives can offer that gate personnel cannot. Agents working at lounges personally know every gate agent, can dial internal lines that bypass the regular customer service system, book flights, hold seats, locate passengers in standby lists, and solve problems that may appear to the queue of 40 people waiting for help at the gate only after 90 minutes. So, for someone missing a connection that leads to spending the night in an unfamiliar location, or suddenly having their seat reassigned for 9 hours of pain instead of a normal flight, The difference of talking to a lounge agent instead of standing in a rebooking line is not just about comfort. It is about getting the situation sorted before it turns into a big problem. Whenever any kind of disruption occurs, go straight to a lounge representative right away before phoning to the airline or queuing at the gate desk. Use these two magic phrases that will get you whatever the lounge agent is capable of offering. My connection is in danger. Can you contact the gate agent directly? And, I will miss my connection. Can you rebook me from here? Learn the addresses of the lounges at all of your destination airports before departure, because at the moment they become useful, you will have neither time nor ability to find this information, and the lounge is not just the most comfortable spot in the airport. It is the most influential one. Tell us in the comments below whether you ever learned about some unexpected benefits offered by lounges that made your life easier during your trips. Share your stories because this is exactly what makes the Airport Wisdom community unique and valuable for all seniors looking for reliable travel tips. Subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell as Airport Wisdom creates new videos with senior passenger advice each and every week. See you soon in the next video because from now on, every trip you make will start and finish in a room with a decent chair and hot meals. And now you know exactly how to do that.